All right, let's talk about a guy who pretty much invented the world we live in. A true visionary whose ideas were so far out there that, honestly, we're still trying to catch up. We're talking, of course, about the one and only Nikola Tesla. This quote right here, it just says it all. He wasn't interested in solving yesterday's problems. He was architecting our world, a future he could see with crystal clarity, even when pretty much everyone else was still in the dark. So, picture this. Tesla shows up in America in 1884. And what does he have on him? I'm not kidding. 4 cents. That's it. Well, 4 cents, a book of poems he wrote himself, and some drawings for a flying machine. It sounds like your classic immigrant story, right? Except for the unbelievable genius part. And that was the real twist. He wasn't just here to find a job or make a quick buck. No, his plan was a little bigger. With just those 4 cents in his pocket, his ambition was to power the entire planet. Talk about thinking big, right? Okay, so you have to wonder, where does a mind like that even come from? Let's dig into Tesla's background and his, honestly, almost supernatural brain. So Tesla's brain, it just wasn't wired like a normal person's. For starters, he had a perfect photographic memory. But get this, it went way beyond just remembering things. He could literally build, test, and even break down entire machines in his head. He'd find flaws and fix them before ever building a single physical prototype. It's like he didn't just learn physics, he could actually see the invisible forces at play. And that leads to this incredible eureka moment. It's the key to, well, everything. He's just taking a walk in a park in Budapest, reciting some poetry, and bam! The entire concept for the rotating magnetic field just hits him like a bolt of lightning. This is the very heart of the AC motor. No lab, no notebooks, just a pure, perfect vision that would literally change the world. Now, a vision that big, it's bound to ruffle some feathers. And it put Tesla on a direct collision course with the biggest name in invention at the time, his old boss, Thomas Edison. And this, folks, is where the story gets really interesting. This becomes the battle of his life. This wasn't just a tech rivalry, it was a fundamental clash of ideas. Think of it like this. Edison's direct current, or DC, was like a short, weak leash. It could barely send power a mile down the road. It was fine for, small stuff like batteries. But Tesla's alternating current, AC, that was a powerhouse. It could send electricity hundreds of miles efficiently. One could power a toy, the other could power all of civilization. The stakes were huge. So how did this all kick off? Well, Tesla goes to work for Edison and completely redesigns his inefficient DC generators. Edison had promised him a $50,000 bonus, which was an absolute fortune back then. But when Tesla asks for the money, Edison just laughs it off, saying, "Tesla, you don't understand our American humor." Ouch. Tesla quits that very day. And that insult, it sends him right to Edison's #1 competitor, George Westinghouse, a guy who actually saw the genius in Tesla's AC system. And teaming up with Westinghouse, that's what really sets the stage for the main event. This is where Tesla's vision of an AC-powered world finally bursts into the light for everyone to see. But here's a story that really tells you everything you need to know about who Tesla was as a person. Westinghouse's company hits a rough patch. They're on the verge of bankruptcy. Now, Tesla has a contract that entitles him to huge royalties, enough to make him one of the richest men on the planet. And what does he do? He rips it up. He literally tears up the contract, forgoing a massive fortune just to save the company and make sure his AC technology had a future. It was always about the vision, not the money. And boy, did that choice pay off. In 1893, at the Chicago World's Fair, Tesla and Westinghouse went head-to-head with Edison, and they won the bid to light the whole thing. We're talking about 250,000 light bulbs. They turned the fairgrounds into a stunning city of light. It was a massive public demonstration that AC wasn't just powerful, it was safe, it was beautiful, and it was the future. But if the World's Fair was a major victory, this next move was the final checkmate. They did something nobody thought was possible. They harnessed the raw power of Niagara Falls. And they didn't just make a little power. They sent it over 20 miles away to light up the entire city of Buffalo. That was it. Game over. AC's superiority was proven, and that project became the blueprint for the very power grid we're all using right now. You'd think after winning the War of the Currents, he might take a break, right? Nope, not Tesla. His mind was already way, way ahead of everyone else. I'm talking decades, maybe even a full century. For him, the power grid, that was just step one. I mean, look at some of this stuff. In 1891, he invents the Tesla coil. You know that thing that shoots lightning in all the old sci-fi movies? Yeah, that wasn't just for show. It was the core technology that made radio possible. And then in 1898, he walks into Madison Square Garden and blows everyone's minds with a radio-controlled boat he called the teleautomaton. Think about that. It was the world's first drone, the very first remote-controlled anything. He basically invented robotics and remote controls in one go. But all of that pales in comparison to his biggest, most ambitious dream of all. And tragically, it's also the project that would lead to his ruin. We're talking about Wardenclyffe. See, Tesla wasn't just thinking about sending messages without wires. That was small time. He wanted to send power without wires. And he knew it could be done. He'd already run experiments in his Colorado lab, lighting up light bulbs miles away with no connection whatsoever. His ultimate dream was to scale this up for the whole planet, to provide free, unlimited energy to every single person on Earth. On paper, the plan looked simple enough. Step 1. Get funding from a big-shot financier like JP Morgan. Step 2. Build a gigantic wireless tower. Step 3. Broadcast free energy to the world. And he actually got started. He secured the money from Morgan and began building this incredible tower out on Long Island, Wardenclyffe. So what went wrong? Well, it all comes down to a single, unspoken question from his investor, JP Morgan. A question that was probably something like, where do we put the meter? See, Morgan thought he was investing in wireless communication, something he could sell. When he found out Tesla's real plan was to give energy away for free, he pulled the plug. I mean, how do you make money off something that's free? You can't. And just like that, Tesla's most brilliant dream came crashing down. After that, for a long, long time, Tesla pretty much faded into obscurity. People dismissed him as this eccentric, mad scientist figure. But here's the thing about genius ideas. They don't stay buried forever. And eventually, history came around to prove him right. It took a while, but the record was finally set straight. For years, this guy Marconi got all the credit for inventing the radio. But then, in 1943, just a few months after Tesla died, the U.S. Supreme Court stepped in. They looked at the evidence and ruled that, nope, Marconi's patent wasn't valid because Tesla had already invented the core technology years earlier. He was officially named the true father of radio. And honestly, the story doesn't end with radio. Just look around you. You plug your phone into the wall, you're using Tesla's AC system. That TV remote on your couch? Tesla's ideas are in there. You see one of those fancy electric cars driving by? It's running on a version of his AC induction motor. And that wireless charger next to your bed? That's literally Tesla's 100-year-old dream of wireless power made real. We are absolutely living in his world. So that really leaves us with one last, kind of mind-bending thought. Nikola Tesla basically saw the 21st century all the way back in 1899. He saw our world, which makes you stop and ask, what incredible future is staring us right in the face today that we're just not seeing?